Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my next draft analysis video. This time we will take a look at the draft from the 100 Thieves vs Evil Geniuses game. I already selected the first two bands from each side, just because I don't want to talk about those two bands. They are obvious bands on the right side. But I want to talk about this band. Callista is a fine band, but that, especially first band, suggests that there will be a first pick tank, and I personally think that there are two tanks that you could pick up on first pick. It's either Set, which is banned, or On. So this basically gives you the information that they probably want to first pick On, but you still have to ban obviously these two picks, as they could decide otherwise and then pick a strong pick. And then 100 Thieves' last ban is Graves. This says two things. There are two options. The first option is Meteors, jungler from 100 Thieves, can't play Graves, which I don't believe. I think he for sure can. Or the other thing is they have other priorities. If Evil Geniuses doesn't ban Graves here, they still want to first pick a tank, and so and then Evil Geniuses could pick Graves up here. This is why they ban it away. And Evil Geniuses, though, they don't notice it, and they basically ban away the only option that they could, the best option that they could have picked, Trundle. Trundle into On, obviously is a solid pick, right? Trundle is a tank destroyer and On is a tank. So this would have been a good option to pick yourself up here or here, and of course 100 Thieves does pick On, which is most likely going into top lane. This is obviously pretty sure. I mean, you can go into other lanes as well, but I don't think this really is a flexible pick here. Evil Geniuses then pick up Ferios and Yuumi. I don't really agree with that as well. If you want to pick Yuumi, then please play Ezreal. He's just way stronger. Maybe they were scared and said, alright, we need some kind of armor penetration, that's why we need a Ferios, but Ezreal would have been the better option. Or let's say we don't want to give away a Ferios as well, and we don't want to give away Ezreal Yuumi, which they could have banned Yuumi if that would have been a problem for them. So not really sure why they picked it, either Ezreal Yuumi or Ferios with something else, and then banning away Yuumi or Ezreal or whatever. So I think this is like a huge mistake, and basically says to 100 Thieves, alright, we made a mistake, and we now have to play this. 100 Thieves then respond with the Olaf pick and the Ezreal pick. They're actually the other way around. The Ezreal pick is fine. And then now you have basically two tanks and a poke, so you probably want to pick up Zoe here as well, just for the poke, and maybe support something like Karma, Bart, or like another engaged support, which Evil Geniuses should know. And yeah, the Olaf pick, I would have banned Olaf here away, so they couldn't have picked Olaf up here. But yeah, I think the Olaf pick makes sense against Yuumi. So yeah, Ezreal vs Felios is stable matchup. They don't really do too much, but obviously with the healing of Yuumi, Ezreal can't really poke as much as he would have liked. Evil Geniuses' last pick then is the Kindred, which is totally fine. Kindred is another healing option basically with her R, together with Yuumi. And Kindred does well into Olaf, does well into On, so that's for sure a good pickup here. If they if 100 Thieves now tend to pick up Zoe, and for example, let's say Karma here, you still have the problem that all of these three champions, hello, pen's not working. Here we go. These three champions all outrange Kindred. So Kindred and also Aphelios. So they can't. Aphelios and Kindred can't do a lot here. So they have to ban away basically both Zoe and Karma. Evil Genius' first ban is Bard, which I don't agree on. I mean, Bard obviously, if you have Ezreal, then Bard is rather free to roam, but this also would give Aphelios and Yumi a very free lane. Aphelios Yumi is a very weak lane, especially very early on, and you want to punish that, and with the Bard you can't punish that, so I don't think that Bard ban would have made a lot of sense. I would rather ban Nautilus or Thresh maybe. 100 Thieves then respond with a LeBlanc ban, which also makes no sense in my eyes. LeBlanc can't blow up On, can't really blow up Olaf, and can't really blow up Ezreal because of his E. And obviously, if you have poke, then, well, LeBlanc can't really go onto you. Maybe they're scared if they pick Zoe up here that LeBlanc is a good time on lane, and obviously Jizuke is a good LeBlanc player, so it still makes some sense, but I would still say I would still much rather see a different ban here, maybe like maybe like Zoe ban yourself. If you're not sure if Jizuke picks it up, Corki ban as well, it could be a possibility. With Geniuses, then bans away Karma. I already said it's a fine ban, but now the problem is that they for sure they will pick up Zoe here if you don't pick it. And this obviously is a problem. 100 Thieves' last ban is Twisted Fate. I mean, Twisted Fate, I don't know. Twisted Fate against Olaf is absolutely horrible. Against Olaf as well, against On as well. He has no escape. He's no dash, no nothing. And Olaf and On just can run him down incredibly easy. And Ezreal outranges Twisted Fate as well. So it really makes no sense in my eyes to pick that up, to ban it away. And then they obviously don't pick Zoe. They pick Aatrox here. I mean, Aatrox does fine into On, but now you have the problem. You have to have some kind of engage here, because otherwise you just have a lack of engage. And this is the only melee. So this is the only front line, and this is an Aatrox, and it's just bad because, for example, Maokai would have made so much more sense. You now would have your front line against these three champions who need a front line. You also have your engage with the ultimate, and you can neglect the poke coming out of Ezreal and Zoe, which obviously is picked up here. Another very good pick, maybe I would say even better, would be Malphite. Because Malphite is even tankier, can even better neglect especially the Zoe damage, and also has the engage, especially on Zoe, very easy to land. But yeah, they pick up Aatrox, I don't agree on, and then they pick up obviously Zoe, as I already said, and Nautilus, which makes also a lot of sense because you want to pressure Aphelios and Yumi, but now you have the problem. You picked up Ezreal and you picked up Nautilus. These two champions want something else. Ezreal wants to save farm, and Nautilus wants to engage. These two champions don't have a great synergy together. So I mean, Nautilus still makes sense picking up here because you want to pressure the Yumi lane, but maybe you should have picked something else here because Ezreal isn't particularly great in fighting early. He needs some kind of items before he can really do a lot. And then Evil Genius' last pick is Corki, which I think is fine. Corki, you now have 3 ADCs, so you have a lot of pressure, doing objectives or just doing damage if they can engage on you. But they have Nautilus, they have On, so they shouldn't have a problem engaging on you. Obviously, Yumi with Corki also isn't too bad. I think Corki is a fine pick here. I'll just say that, especially the Aatrox pick here was really bad. The Yumi pick, the Aphelios pick, there were a lot of picks that were really, really bad. And 100 Thieves has the way better comp. They have poke comp, They have the possibility to poke, they have the possibility to teamfight with Ornn and Nautilus, they have 3 beefy frontliners, which you can't really burst too easy. And you have 2 damage dealers. Obviously Zoe isn't that particularly great in teamfights, but if it's a good Zoe, then she can for sure do a lot. So overall I would say that Hundred Thieves for sure hard won this draft. Even though they lost the game, they for sure won the draft. Virginius has no engage option. Their only option is to heal and let the Hundred Thieves engage on them. And if Hundred Thieves gets ahead and basically moves first into the river, for example, for an objective, Evil Geniuses can't get onto them properly, while Hundred Thieves can always get onto them. And I also prepared another draft. I left these 3 bands and these 2 bands the same, and then first pick on as well. I banned away the Olaf because if they pick on, I want to pick Trundle and Kale here, and Olaf would have been a good response here. So they pick Olaf here. I respond with Kale and Trundle. Trundle obviously, Trundle and Kale are very good into Ornn. Yeah, Kale has a free laning phase after level 6, and Trundle can obviously steal away the tanky stats. 100 Thieves, I left the Ezreal here, and then picked up the Yuumi, which would make the most sense. Ezreal Yuumi obviously is quite strong, is quite pokey. And then EG picks up Malphite. Malphite mid lane, tank Malphite mid lane. Would be the best option, I think. Malphite can easily neglect the damage out of coming out of Ezreal Yuumi. You have your engage option, which you don't have over your top laner, so you're not forced onto one specific champion here. For example, your only engage would have been Nautilus if this would have been a normal mid laner, or Thresh as a pick here, and now you have another engage option. Banning then away the Jarvan and the Zoe. Obviously you don't want to give another poke option to them, and Jarvan is a great teamfighter. You already have some kind of teamfight here, and don't want to give them another good teamfight champion. And 100 Thieves banning away Phaedos and Nautilus. I wasn't sure what they would rather ban, Nautilus or Thresh. I just decided for Nautilus because I think Thresh runs up that this draft better. Then picking up Thresh here, obviously. Thresh now gives you the safety that you need for the Ornn ultimate, so Kale can't be really hit by the Ornn ultimate, and you can only hit Trundle, Malphite, or Thresh with the ultimate, which really aren't the targets that you want to hit. And then I pick up Lee Sin and Arena. I think normally I wouldn't pick Lee Sin here. But I think that a lot of teams tend to pick this into Trundle because I think this is a good matchup. I disagree on. I don't know how, if they would have done it, picking Kindred here. Also could pick up Nidalee here as well. This would have been 2 great options, but I don't know how the NA drafts would have looked like. That's why I picked Lee Sin here. But you also can say that Kindred or Nidalee would have been 2 good options here. And then Orianna, obviously a teamfight champion, isn't too great into Malphite. Maybe you could have picked up Cassio as well, but I think Orianna is the better champion overall here. And then last pick here is Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa, obviously the lane phase isn't too easy against the poke comp, against Ezreal Yuumi for Kai'Sa. Because she's short ranged, but I just think that later in the game you have a lot of options with the Kai'Sa, and especially a lot of games tend to go very late, both in NA and EU. And with Kai'Sa, with Malphite, with Kale, you now have a lot of late game tools, and I would say that this team looks stronger late game, while 100 Thieves has probably more options early game. I would say this draft is better, obviously, because I made it, so it must have been better. Especially comparing to this draft. This draft just looks like a mess. This draft looks at least some kind of good. And this is just the disturbing thing for me is looking at this draft is that I basically noticed after the set ban already that they want to first pick on, and especially after the Graves ban that they want to first pick on. and I'm a platinum player in EU West, and Evil Geniuses with 5 professional players and professional coaches didn't notice it. I just think that it's insanely weird uh, that they banned away the trundle here, and I just don't understand it. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time.